Yeah, it's nice, huh?
Yeah.
Hey, dude, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, you can ask me a question anytime.
Good enough.
Wait, that was your question.
What?
That was your... Wait, so your question was if you could ask me a question.
I have
What
many
is-
questions.
What is the
I
question?
come with a lot of questions.
Then do you want to ask that question?
Alright. What question?
The question that you asked if you could ask.
I just wanted to know if I could ask you a question, but I don't know if it goes that deep. You okay? You
What's
think
the
about-
question you want to ask?
Alright. You want me to ask a question? Because I can ask you a question.
I want you to ask the question you were going to ask.
You want me to ask you a question?
I'll ask you a question.
Yeah?
What was the question you were asking me?
Earlier?
Yeah.
Earlier I was asking if you wanted
No,
to ask
no,
you a
but
question.
what was the question that you
I wasn't gonna ask, but I just wanted to know.
wanted?
You want me to ask you a question?
Okay. So,
Okay, so you want me
so you can ask me a question. Yes, you can ask me a question anytime.
Alright, good enough.
That's your question.
What?
That's your question. You asked me a question.
Yeah, I wanted to know.
You wanted to know if. Can I ask you a question?
What?
Can I ask you a question?
No man, I'm not really in the mood to be questions right now, sorry. Maybe later. Friday? Free Friday? I have nothing to do on Friday.
What's your question?
My question?
Wait, what's your... Okay, if you're asking a question about if you can ask a question, you gotta have a question.
Why?
Because that question doesn't make any sense without a question.
Okay, my
ready.
question is that, do you want me to ask a question?
I can't do this. I can't do this. Okay. Can I ask you a question?
No, I said I don't want to be questioned right now.
When
But
can
also,
I ask...
you just asked a question, so that's...
When can I ask you a question?
I'm free Friday.
Okay, I'll meet you on Friday.
Where are you going? You answer my question. It's rude.
What's your question?
I can't hear you.
What's your question?
I got bad hearing. Bad hearing. That's why I can't meet you other than Friday. Doctor's appointment.
What's your question?
Doctor's appointment. Oh, where are you going? Where were you going?
So that's your question you were asking already.
My question. No. That's
Your
the question I'm
then-
asking
no.
now.
If you're
Where
asking
were
a
you
question
going?
now about
No, I was just
if
trying to ask where you were
yes.
going. You didn't answer me. That was very rude. You're being.
So you
rude
asked
right
a
now.
question.
I don't
and the
know
question
why you can't
was,
handle
where am
a
I
simple
going?
question.
And you asked the
Every
question.
time you ask me,
is the question.
it just doesn't make any sense ever.
It doesn't make
You
any
never make
sense
any
because
sense.
you gotta
never
have a
talk. You're
question
like
ready when you
clown.
ask a
You're like,
question.
blah, 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 blah.
You can't just ask a question with no. There's no reason for you to ask that question.
Okay, I have a question. Why not?
So.
I wish I had my phone. I could Google why.
Okay, so even everyone has, when you ask a question like that, you have to have a question to answer that question.
Who?
And even with, almost every time when you're asking a question, unless it's like one of
Are you
those,
some sort of doctor? You're so boring.
unless it's one of those, friendship, get to know you things.
That was what it was. It was an icebreaker.
There's no like real reason to ask. That's
Trying to get to
that's
know
a
you.
reason
Trying
you
to-
can't.
Like,
That's the one
because
exception.
I wasn't sure whether or not I could like ask you
There's no-
anything, and now clearly I know
Like
that I can't ask you anything.
even teachers who ask you a question, they're trying to get to know if you know the answer, because that's in the curriculum. It's part of the reason.
What do you think
they ask
happens after you die?
What kind of question is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, I mean, I asked you a question. Now answer it. Have you never had the conversation ever in the converse? Have you converted?
you asked me a
to
question and I answered it,
conversation
and now we're still
and
having a
insanity?
discussion about the question. Why?
Oh, okay. I actually have a question that I wanted to ask. I think this was what I was gonna.
Okay.
Uh,
What's your question?
Do you like my beard?
Where did you get that? Did you pull that out your ass?
No, but I grew it.
Out of your ass?